I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts,
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. You know what I mean? Everybody else come out. I'm not with the domestic violence thing, man, but I hope that, he get that straightened out.
You don't want to live with no regrets. I hate to see what's happening to Gervonta Davis right now. I hope he get it together. That rematch is out there. It'll just be sad if this derailed him.
I'm sure you saw the news what took place earlier today with Gervonta Davis being arrested.
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you this. I heard whispers that Devin Haney has a Hall of Fame career right now. I heard the whispers. But guess what? We're not paying attention to this. We're on our way to the Mount Rushmore of boxing.
The boxing world reacts to Gervonta Davis's arrest and discusses the possibility of the Lamont Rematch rematch being canceled. Bernard Hopkins says he hopes Gervonta Davis is released soon and urged him to prioritize family first. He emphasized that fixing things with the mother of his children is important and that Davis should stay positive and focus on his career to move forward in the right direction.
I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts,
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. You know what I mean? Everybody else come out. I'm not with the domestic violence thing, man, but I hope that, he get that straightened out and he get back to focus on his family and his career. Family first and then career second. But I just wish both his ex-girl, his kid's mother, can get things together and look forward and be positive going forward.
Antonio Tarver, a respected voice in boxing, spoke out with concern regarding Gervonta Davis's recent situation. He emphasized that athletic success alone is not enough. While Davis has proven himself in the ring, Tarver believes the young fighter must now turn inward and focus on personal development. He also criticized the current generation, pointing out how many lack proper mentorship and guidance, especially when managing fame and pressure. According to Tarver, Gervonta's current challenges reflect this deeper issue, and it's disheartening to witness such a talent face setbacks, especially when an important fight is on the horizon.
Into it I wouldn't say it's a big shock to a lot of us, but there's this mindset, the fight with Lamont's not signed yet. Apparently he's gonna fight Jake Paul. Like, it's put in and out of boxing right now.
Hey man, I don't know, but get these guys the bag so they can get the hell on if they not committed and dedicated to the sport. All they want is a bag. Give them a bag so they can go, bro. I mean, let these fighters that really want the shit, let's parade them. Let's get behind them. Let's support them. Let's build them. I'm not saying I don't know what happened. But I just hope and pray that young man get it together. He's at the top of his career, prime of his career. I would want him to be remembered more by the things that he's doing in the ring rather than out. But, sometimes you got to win in life, too, before you can get in that ring and win. And sometimes life is harder than any opponent that we could face. And I just hope he get it together, bro. I feel like a lot of these young men don't have no mentors, bro. It ain't no more handlers in the game, bro. It ain't nobody taking care of the camp. These guys out here on their own frequency, bro. And I just think there's no more leaders in the game, bro. They're not going to where that real energy is that can really humble these guys a little bit. We only got a short period of time to be professional boxers. This shit is over quick, bro. And you don't ever want to live with no regrets. That'll hunt you, bro. That'll hunt you when you know you had the ability to be the best. And you don't want to live with no regrets. I hate to see what's happening to Gervonta Davis right now. I hope he get it together. That rematch is out there. It'll just be sad if this derailed him.
Sports journalist Mike Coppinger's tweet, Gervonta Davis arrested yet again, slated for Aug. 16 rematch with Lamont Rematch that's now in even more jeopardy quickly spread across boxing circles as he raised concerns about the scheduled August 16th rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Rematch. With Davis facing legal trouble again, the status of the event has become uncertain. Fans and insiders are now questioning whether the bout will move forward as planned. The timing of this situation has intensified debate, as some speculate whether this could delay or derail what was set to be one of the most anticipated fights of the year. In response to all the controversy surrounding Davis, Lamont Rematch took to social media with a short but strong message. His video, shot from inside his gym, showed that he remains focused and unfazed. "We still here," he said. making it clear that he's staying ready regardless of what happens on Davis's end. Roach's discipline and calm response have earned praise from fans who admire his professionalism amid uncertainty. When Bill Haney, another key figure in boxing, was asked about Davis's recent situation, he chose not to comment. In a brief exchange, he quietly deflected the topic, signaling that some in the boxing world may prefer to wait until more facts are available. His silence could reflect a wider sentiment among professionals, choosing to observe rather than speculate.
I'm sure you saw the news what took place earlier today with Gervonta Davis being arrested.
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you this. I heard whispers that Devin Haney has a Hall of Fame career right now. I heard the whispers. But guess what? We're not paying attention to that. We're on our way to the Mount Rushmore of boxing.
The reaction across the boxing community has been mixed, with some fans expressing suspicion over the timing of events. Davis has now faced multiple legal issues that coincided closely with major fights. This pattern has led some to believe it might be more than coincidence. While there's no confirmation of any deliberate move, the repetition has caused many to wonder whether these incidents might be used as a way to avoid certain matchups. The rumor mill intensified after a tweet from user Kyle Makachev claimed the rematch had been canceled. Breaking news: Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach 2 is cancelled, one user posted, which added more uncertainty to the already tense atmosphere. Although no official statement had been released at the time, fans took the tweet seriously, fueling conversations online and offline about whether this long-awaited clash would ever take place. Claressa Shields, an accomplished champion in her own right, spoke honestly about Davis. She acknowledged his talent but said that his interviews revealed deeper emotional struggles. Shields believes that Davis could benefit from professional guidance or therapy, not because of any weakness, but because caring for mental well-being is just as important as training physically. Her comments were seen as compassionate and supportive, encouraging Davis to prioritize inner peace.
Gervonta is a hell of a fighter, but he needs to get his mental together. When I hear some of his interviews and I see some of the stuff that he's saying, I can just tell that he's not in love with the sport no more. I can tell that he didn't get his just due. I mean, it was crazy to hear that he said he got evicted out of a house or something like that. And I was just like, what in the world? And like that type of stuff, when you've been fighting and knocking people out and fighting main events. I mean, he fought four main events here at T-Mobile against some of the best fighters. And it's just like, to see that he got evicted from his home and all this other stuff. Now he got kids and, you know, he's not signed with TMT,
Mayweather,
promotions,
no, he's on his own,
anymore. It's like when I hear him talk, he's like he want to be a nicer guy for his daughters and he don't want to be
therapy. Yeah.
I think he would be better and even a better fighter if he went and did therapy like ASAP. Because I can just tell like he's a little sad, he's a little depressed, even before this fight, you know. So I think it'd be a better fight. I think that Lamont has the mental edge. I think anybody right now would have the mental edge over Tank because, to me, he just needs to take some serious time to, like, you know, deal with whatever he's having to deal with. Nobody knows what it is, but I mean, me being a fighter, I have done plenty of camps where I was depressed and where I was going through anxiety. So it's not an easy thing to get over, especially when you don't have the support from certain people that you used to have.
Davis has previously opened up about the emotional weight of facing skilled opponents. He admitted feeling pressure when going up against fighters with exceptional talent, revealing a more vulnerable side to his public image. This moment of honesty showed that even elite athletes experience stress and self-doubt. His words highlight how internal challenges can be just as impactful as physical ones in a fighter's journey.
I feel pressure. It's not me fighting home, but the pressure I feel is from like what I want to do to, do to that person type stuff, or that's showing off my skills. That's showing that I ain't ready to be fucked with. That's the pressure.
And why do you think this fight is so...
Boxing analyst Dan Raphael tweeted, "The Roach rematch on OG. 16 was already unlikely. Now this, again." His tweet reflects the growing belief that Davis was never fully committed to the rematch. Whether due to distractions, emotional strain, or other priorities, it seems the enthusiasm for the bout was lacking even before recent events. Now, with added complications, the fight's future is even more doubtful. Some fans are drawing comparisons to 2022, when Davis faced legal trouble just 10 days before a scheduled fight with Ryan Garcia. This historical parallel is fueling speculation again. Critics argue that there seems to be a trend of serious issues occurring just before major matchups, leading them to question whether it's coincidental or calculated.
The shot of Tank. Listen, innocent until proven guilty. I don't know what transpired. I don't know any of the details. This is the information that is available to us as of this recording. So again, I'm saying unfortunate news because Tank Davis is scheduled to fight, and he's scheduled to fight in 11 days, and it's almost midnight my time, Pacific Standard Time. So that means really 10 days. Does this affect in any way? Will this affect Tank Davis and his fight? You know, I don't know. I don't know all the details, but we've seen stuff like this happen before in the past. And since it's so fresh, today being December 27th, I don't think it will impact or, you know, postpone his fight or anything like that, because it'll be too quick to go to trial or anything like that. However, some would wonder, could this affect him mentally, right? You left Mayweather Promotions, you're your own boss, doing your own thing. So this is your first foray into that. You have a difficult Olympian in terms of Hector Luis Garcia that you're getting ready to fight, a little bit taller and bigger than you. And, you know, now you have something in the background. This, I can't say is news to Gervonta Davis in terms of him having little run-ins, because he had a run-in with some type of vehicular hit and run or whatever the situation is. So he's had court cases before. We'll see how it all plays out.
Social media lit up with reports that Lamont Roach had strong words for Davis. According to World Boxing News, Roach allegedly accused Davis of backing out due to fear. He's scared to get embarrassed, Roach claimed. He didn't stop there, adding that he's ready to humble Davis and issued a direct challenge. Step up or step aside. The tension between the two fighters continues to rise, even without official fight confirmation. Throughout his career, Davis has often spoken about his desire to improve not just as a boxer, but as a father and individual. He has mentioned retirement and his wish to focus on his private life. While he hasn't reaffirmed those plans recently, this latest challenge could be a turning point.
What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gem. Checked out the press conference yesterday. Watched the Rise podcast. 2 days ago, watched the Rise podcast response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that, you know, Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it, though. And I'm going to tell you why I doubt it. When he talked about wanting to seek therapy and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he is, and wanting to be a softer person, you know, for his daughters, and wanting to seek therapy and become a better person and be with his children and lead a limelight, it seemed like a lot of emotion and passion in that. He seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot that comes with not only boxing, you know, because, you know, all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, you know, physically and mentally. But he has to deal with being a celebrity, you know, an international star on top of that. And I can't even imagine that pressure. So, you know, things get old, you know, your whole life gets scrutinized. No matter what moves he makes, you know what I mean, it's going to be accepted by some and, you know, ridiculed by others. And some people grow tired of it. You know, living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. You know, I wish him well. I think we need to, you know, watch this Lamont Roach fight closely, because we've seen this in the past when Mike Tyson talks about his heart no longer being in it. Or, you know, you heard Buddy McGirt recently come out and say, you know, the fire left him, you know, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens. And, you know, we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, you know, he could find it in himself to be motivated and get prepared, you know, and be the best version of himself. Because, you know, as a Tank fan, I don't want to see him in a ring in any other capacity. You know, if he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should walk away. But regardless of what he decides to do for people like myself, you know, I've had a great time, you know, watching his career. I wish him the best in his personal life. He didn't say he's retiring immediately. He just said he's going to fight 3 times in 2025, and then it'll be over. You know, whoever those 3 fights he chooses to fight, you know, we have to respect it. And I would just say, you know, enjoy him while he's here, because, you know, everybody in sports, whether it's boxing or otherwise, is only going to be active for a certain amount of time. And once it's over, it's over. So instead of, you know, Monday morning quarterbacking, ridiculing or criticizing, I think he's been a very special talent, and we need to enjoy him while he's here, because the end may be really near, according to what he's saying. That's all I have for y'all right now. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.
Many believe it might be the right time for him to pause, reflect, and make meaningful changes, both inside and outside the ring. Even before any recent issues arose, there were signs Davis wasn't fully invested in the rematch with Roach. Some insiders claimed the lack of training focus and contract delays hinted at hesitation. Now that legal complications have surfaced, the chances of the fight actually happening seem even slimmer. The fight's status remains officially unconfirmed, leaving fans and analysts in suspense.
Lamont is signed and ready to go for the rematch, correct?
We signed still y'all can't play so many head games. It's not even funny. Let me tell you something, bro. Lamont Roach has never been this big of a fighter before. Everyone knows Lamont Roach now. So he could be reaping the benefits of just enjoying his status of having that draw with Tank, while Tank is the one with the eye of the tiger. Tank is probably in the gym training his ass off, and then sign the contract like, all right, we got to fight when? June. Oh, shit! Let's hurry up and dash your ass. Sugar Ray Leonard did that to Roberto Duran. Duran was told that he had a fight in a couple weeks, and he was like, dude, I'm 190 pounds in Panama, which is why Roberto Duran was out of shape in the No Mas fight and was like, no mas. So Tank could be over there working, sign the contract in 3 weeks, and all of a sudden Lamont Roach got to put a training camp together.
Reports suggest Davis has had interest in a separate deal involving a potential fight with Shakur Stevenson under Turki Allah's promotional umbrella. The possibility of that high-profile bout may have drawn Davis's attention away from Roach. If that deal progresses, it could explain a shift in focus and a reason why the rematch with Roach has been placed on hold or even canceled altogether. Davis's past has already included several moments that generated discussion and concern among fans. The most recent developments have reignited those conversations. Some fans feel disappointed, others remain hopeful he'll bounce back. The overall mood is one of uncertainty as people wait to see what direction Davis will choose.
So Gervonta Tank Davis was arrested today for boxing, but it wasn't an opponent, it was his wife. He got arrested for battery and domestic violence charges involving the mother of his children. According to the reports, he was accused of slapping her in the face and then hitting her in the back of her head on Father's Day. Oh, now what a twist. Me personally, I don't know what was in Gervonta Davis' coffee that morning. I don't know what he got going on, but if I'm rich and I have money, I'm not hitting no woman. I'm not hitting a woman, period. But especially if I have money. Maybe I just picked a good girl, but my wife has never made me angry to the point where I wanted to punch her in the back of the head. Now, sometimes I wanted to pick her up and tombstone her. But you know, some of those times I let it go. But a lot of people are saying that Tank Davis is a great fighter, but just a terrible person. They're saying it's always the same thing with this guy, just a different day. But then again, we got to be two-sided in this world. I know it happened multiple times, but we don't know what his baby mama is doing to him. We don't know. Great thing for me, and it should be an amazing thing to you, is we shouldn't care what goes on in these celebrities' households. I just see him on a boxing ring, and I cheer just for the boxing aspect. Now, him being Muhammad Ali at home don't got nothing to do with me. But it do look kind of crazy on your name when you're a famous person. Davis, man, stop hitting that girl. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments.
Adding to the social media reactions, user Benji tweeted, Gervonta Davis has found a way to successfully duck Lamont Roach. This is comical. The tweet captured the frustration many feel about the situation, but also pointed out the disbelief some have that the pattern continues without resolution. While opinions remain divided, the public clearly hasn't stopped paying attention. It's also important to note that in a previous similar situation, the person who had accused Davis later retracted her statement and said that no harm had been done. That incident cast doubt on future claims and led many to urge caution before forming judgments. As of now, the facts remain under investigation and no final determination has been made.
Boxer Gervonta Davis was charged earlier this week with assault and battery against his girlfriend. Initially, she said he slapped her and threatened to kill her, and he was arrested. He denied everything, and now she's saying he didn't do anything. which is what he said. So what happens next? Generally speaking, a court date will be set. Davis will have to appear as a defendant, and his girlfriend would have to appear as the alleged victim. But a lot of times the alleged victim doesn't appear because they recant the accusation like she did. If she doesn't appear, the prosecutor can do several things. First, the prosecutor can just dismiss the case because the alleged victim isn't there. They can't proceed without her because her initial statements accusing Gervonta of hitting her are inadmissible. They're hearsay. And she's not there to be subject to cross-examination. So they can either dismiss the case or ask for a new court date and issue a warrant for her to appear. If she doesn't appear, either the first time or the next time or the next time, the case will be dismissed. Because she said he didn't do anything anyway, so it should be dismissed, right? What do y'all think?
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.